Ever feel like life's passing you by? The daily grind. Getting to be a bit of a bore? Is it time for a change?
The answer could be a 10,000-mile hop, skip and a jump away.
Welcome to Australia!
Yes, I'm back down under. With its famous sun, sea and surf, it's no wonder this is called the Lucky Country. I'm on a mission to help 6 sets of new recruits start a brand new life here. So far, I've helped 2 families make the move to Melbourne and Adelaide.
What do you say to Phil?
Thank you!
Oh, you're very welcome.
But this week, I'm facing my biggest challenge yet. I'm in the capital city, where property is scarce and competition fierce.
I'm going to call it in your favour, sir.
Just gone up by $20,000.
If you're serious about buying in this market, it could well mean fighting off hordes of other prospective buyers in an auction.
And sold. Congratulations to you, sir.
I'm helping a family buy in one of Australia's toughest markets, so now is not the time to be sitting on the fence.
It's got a nice feel, nice and big. Oh, that's nice.
I'm not looking for the word nice. We need to do better than that.
They've been struggling for almost 12 months, so they've called me in with a brief to do whatever it takes to get them a new family home.
I want to see some passion. I want to see some love.
But I'm not stopping there. I'll also show you how the sky's the limit for careers in Canberra.
This is your office. This is my office.
And I'll be giving you the inside track on the immigration system, because if you've got the skills, Australia needs you.
Good.
So get ready for my definitive guide to upping sticks and moving lock, stock and barrel to a land down under.
Think you know Australia? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Without a doubt, the world's biggest island offers a way of life that's hard to beat. And if you know where to look, it's also a land of big opportunity.
I'm a Brit through and through, but if I ever did want to up sticks and move somewhere else, top of my list is Australia.
I got my first taste of Oz while travelling in my 20s, and I married my very own Sheila. My wife Fiona is from Melbourne, and along with our sons we come to visit the Rellies every year. Though when I'm not surfing the waves with the kids, I'm just as obsessed with the property market here as I am back home.
The one you've described as a little ripper.
But there's one city that's always intrigued me. After Sydney, it has the highest property values in the whole of the country. People earn way more than the national average, and it's the nation's capital. Though I bet you can't name it.
It's not Melbourne, definitely not Sydney, and the chances are, even if you've heard of it, you don't know much about it. So let me introduce you to Canberra.
This modern metropolis was declared capital in 1908 to stop rival cities Sydney and Melbourne coming to blows over the title. Some think it's a bit of a consolation prize, but I'm not one of them.
I love the fact that Canberra is the Aboriginal word for meeting place, which of course is exactly what they do in Parliament. I also really like it here because it was meticulously planned out right from the beginning.
Today, an incredible 40% of Canberra's population work in government, and that's before you include staff of all the foreign embassies. This has had a huge impact on the property market. Prices are high, and coupled with a housing shortage, there's stiff competition. But despite being expensive, Canberra has been voted one of the world's most livable cities. You'll find this booming place between Sydney and Melbourne, located in its own state, the Australian Capital Territory. It's over 90 miles from the coast and is the only major city without a beach. But with plenty of lakes and surrounded by the great Aussie outdoors, it's no surprise the locals are fitness fanatics with the highest life expectancy in Oz. While we might head off to the pub after work, people here are rather more energetic. Spot of dragon boat racing, anyone?
We're in a race. We're going to win it.
And if, like me, your rowing doesn't make the grade, these guys don't take any prisoners.
More power, Phil! Come on!
So, just to summarise, posh houses, big pay packets, and the people are sports mad. But wait, there's more. The city's relatively small, so the commute across town's a maximum of 20 minutes. And then there's the weather. with average summer temperatures of very pleasant 27 degrees.
I've been struggling to think of a word to describe the atmosphere around here, but I guess it's easy. Everything is easy and uncomplicated, which, given the name of this street, is something of a surprise.
Miss you, Kirsty. Wish you were here. Easy living and the outdoor lifestyle have got Catherine and Rob Morris and their kids, Rebecca, Peter and Christopher, hooked on Canberra.
We ended up in Australia after a fantastic holiday here, and we just went home and just knew we wanted to come back.
We thought, yeah, we'd tip it all upside down.
Let's just do something different.
Back home, they lived in the small Welsh town of Llantwit Major, which has a population of around 10,000. But they were canny. Rob and Catherine shot up the property ladder, buying and selling 6 houses over 17 years.
We did get known as serial movers for a period.
It was probably me all the time, really, wasn't it? Just had the moving bug. Yeah, you always see something else, which I guess is why we're sat here.
The cash they made propelled them to Oz, and because Catherine's skills in human resources are in demand in Canberra, the family's visas were fast-tracked. But living the dream hasn't yet become reality. The city's tough rental market meant the entire family squashed into a camper trailer for their first month here. How's that for landing down under with a bump?
How bad can it be?
And yeah, it rained for weeks. 4 weeks, it feels like 4 months.
Yeah.
But the skies cleared as soon as they swapped their trailer for a rental home. Rob then landed a job at a quarry, while Catherine found work at one of the city's universities.
Moved to Australia, I would say I'm starting to think it's the best thing we've ever done. Rebecca, in particular, is just settled in like a duck to water. She's fantastic.
Well, I made friends on my first day. It was so much easier than I thought. The sun's always out, so I think that's why people smile.
The boys, brilliant. We were both doing really well.
Got lots of friends now and stuff as well. So it's good.
Go kayaking, go on our bikes.
With sports, barbecues and sunshine, it all seems perfect. But a year's gone by and they're still in rental accommodation, which almost feels as cramped as their trailer did. And even with a budget of £340,000, they're bewildered by the property market here. Not surprising, as Canberra has over 30 times the population of Llantwit Major. Their hope of buying a forever home is falling off the radar. So, it's Spencer to the rescue.
Knock, knock. Hello, Rob, I'm Phil.
Hi, I'm Catherine. Hi.
I know you bought and sold 6 properties back in Wales.
Yes.
Which says to me that you're a couple that are very used to the process, and yet you've not been able to pull that off in Australia. What's been holding you back?
I think initially we were in a big city, we don't know where to start looking, and we just sort of buried our heads in the sand a bit, I think, and didn't...
Yeah, it's easier not to look.
Easier not to look.
Splash around in a kayak instead.
Just go and have some fun instead, yeah.
But now it's time to get a bit more serious. What are the key elements of what you're after?
I would love to have 4 beds.
2 living areas if we can.
An extra living area, because the kids, you know, they're getting older, they don't want to sit with mum and dad all the time.
And then the kids will say top of their list is a pool.
A pool the kids want, but I don't know, that might be stretching it a little bit.
Space is the key criteria. That's what you haven't got. That's one of the reasons you came over here for.
Yeah.
So let's knock that on the head.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
we'll
we've got to show it to the 3 little judges then and see what they think.
Yeah. 3 little judges, that's when I get nervous.
Yeah.
Let's get to work.
Catherine, Rob and the 3 little judges have 550,000 Aussie dollars to spend. That's £340,000. They want a family home with 4 bedrooms, 2 living areas, and if it's got a pool, so much the better. One thing the whole family are agreed on is to have as short as possible school journey. All the kids are happily settled into schools in the Belconnen area, which is very close to their current rental property. So it's with this in mind, I'm focusing my search on Belconnen and 4 of its neighbouring suburbs. This means I'm working within a very narrow area in a very competitive market. The reality here is that 1/3 of Canberran properties are sold at auction, so prices can rocket higher than an Aussie rules dropkick. My challenge is to find options that won't break the bank. My first house is in the suburb of Latham, just 2 miles from where they are now. The school run is under 10 minutes, there's plenty of space, and it backs onto a reserve, keeping them close to the great outdoors.
Now, this type of property is called a battle axe property.
Right.
Because it's set at the back of those other ones. Some people like them because they've got greater seclusion.
And kids can play out here without worrying about the road.
Come on, then.
Honour offers over $500,000, that's £310,000. It boasts 4 bedrooms, which gets the boys out of those cramped bunk beds, and 2 living areas, another tick on the wish list. If they want it, I'm confident I could get it for close to the asking price, which would leave $50,000 to splash out in a pool, so their kids should be more than happy.
I wanted to show you this one first because it's priced at the low end of your budget. I think it's a good example of the type of space that you could buy.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 bedrooms and you've effectively got 2 living areas because you've got this one, main one.
Yes.
And you've got another sort of casual
Yeah,
seating area.
for the kiddies to sit.
Yeah.
It's got a nice sort of feel about it, isn't it? It's nice.
Now, we're only at the first impressions stage, but what's outside might just give them the wow factor they're after.
But it backs onto this public space. This is a reserve.
Yeah.
You can see a bike path here.
Yes. Nice not to have someone looking straight in the back garden.
Looking at your garage at the moment, it's full of bikes and canoes and camping stuff.
Yeah.
You've obviously been really getting involved.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Part of the ideology behind the move was just to, yeah, it's a completely new place, and come the weekend we can, you know, pack up and go and look at somewhere
Explore.
else
Yeah.
and find somewhere new.
It's clear they love the great Aussie outdoors, but all their exploring has sidetracked them from finding the right base and putting down roots. So now I need to push them to tell me whether or not this is the family home they're looking for.
Oh, that's a good size. Nice and
Take
big.
away, I expect.
It feels nice. And you've got your view of your garden as well.
It's interesting.
Yeah. A definite maybe.
Well then, how do we do first up?
The living area is fantastic.
Yeah.
Bedrooms.
They're very good sizes. A definite good start, good contender.
A good contender isn't enough to cut it with most buyers, so what is it that's going to push them across the line?
Well, if the price is right and you both like it, you do it.
Coming up, I'll be revealing Canberra's most desirable living spaces. And I'll be taking to the skies to find out how the capital has changed the lives of one British family.
Only more money for working less hours, that's always good.
Last year, over 25,000 Brits began a new life in Oz. If you fancy joining them, then this is my definitive guide to moving down under. I'm in Canberra, where average property prices are well over £300,000 and the competition is ferocious. So if I'm going to bag Rob and Catherine Morris their dream home, I'm going to need better reactions than this one.
A definite maybe.
I need them to fall in love with the property, just like they have for the area around Canberra. More than 70% of the Australian Capital Territory, or ACT, is parks and open space.
Which makes the suburbs feel a bit like living in the country.
So it's easy to appreciate why this place has such a sporty and healthy population. Some POMs are already making a success of it here, but I reckon it could be Australia's best kept secret. It's 5 a.m. and today I'm meeting a British family who've been given a massive lift thanks to Canberra. The Gillespies are from Surrey. They moved to Australia 11 years ago and have spent the last 3 here in Canberra. The big attraction? The lifestyle that goes with Dad Richard's job as a balloonist.
We're cleared to launch from Western Park, and I'll call you Ed one.
And he's succeeded in getting the family hooked as well. Wife Heather is ground crew, while son Dan has already gained his private ballooning licence.
There are lots of ways to explore a city. You could get wet on an open-top bus, you can get saddle sore on a bike, you can go on a hot and cramped tube, or you can go around in one of these.
Kirsty's always saying I'm full of hot air, but I tell you what, I'm not a patch on this monster. It sucks up 100 kilos of gas an hour, which is enough to keep your barbecue hot all year round.
It's like being on a magic carpet and just lifted so delicately and beautifully.
Richard started ballooning back in England almost 20 years ago, but found the winter weather reduced his flying time. The Australian sunshine cured that problem, and now Richard's clients are treated to spectacular views of the Parliament and the surrounding lakes and mountains, all topped off by a champagne breakfast. What a way to start the day.
This is your office?
This is my office, yeah.
I have to say, you've got an office with the best view that I think I've ever seen.
And it changes every day.
How does the money side of things compare with what you were doing back in England?
The money's definitely better here. Not only is the money better, but it gives me a lot more free time as well. Earning more money for working less hours, that's always good.
And who can argue with that? Richard works just 4 hours a day, but makes double what he earned full-time in the UK. This gives him much more time to devote to his family, as well as enjoying everything that Canberra offers.
What do you make of it as a city to live in?
It's one of the nicest places I've lived anywhere. You can get to the coast in a couple of hours, you can get to the mountains to ski in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So,
Any downsides?
It's a long way from anywhere.
Anything else you miss?
Pubs, English, a good English pub.
And a decent English cheddar would be nice.
A cheddar, yes, that's right.
Cheddar cheese.
Well, it's always the little things you miss. But cheese aside, it's clear the move's been good news for all the family, especially the kids. Eldest son, Dan, is following in his dad's footsteps, so he can live the high life as well.
And how old were you when Dad first put you in a balloon?
Oh, I can't remember. Probably 5. Yeah, 5.
And you've been ballooning ever since?
Been around it ever since, yeah. And I just can't get enough of it. I love it.
The whole family are enjoying the great outdoors. Younger brother Joe also making a success of his passion, motocross.
I race all over New South Wales, sometimes Queensland, Victoria.
Okay.
I've been riding since I was about 4, 5, something like that. And I've been racing since I was about 11.
He hopes to become a professional racer and has even won a sports scholarship to his local college. This is exactly the type of opportunity the family feel just wouldn't have been possible in Britain.
That way I can, get a good education as well as trying to achieve greatness in sport, really.
So your motocross provides the scholarship?
Yeah, my motocross.
Wow, fantastic.
If you've got sporty kids, Canberra is also home to the Australian Institute of Sport. This is the training ground of Olympians and offers 34 programs in 25 sports, such as football and swimming. So if you emigrate and are awarded citizenship, your kids could potentially apply. Depending on their talents, the sky really might be the limit.
I guess the ballooning as a business provides the lifestyle and the time off that you've got and the motocross and everything. You couldn't do all that in England, could you?
We certainly couldn't do it in England. We'd have to travel all over Europe, and it would just cost a fortune.
And generally, it sounds as though Canberra's treated you all very well.
Yeah, it has. I think certainly don't regret the move here at all.
Like my head landing on my pillow. Look at that. Look at that. That was beautiful. Ballooning over Canberra has been so special. What a way to make a living. They've got it sorted, I really do.
I'm house hunting for Rob and Catherine and their 3 kids. They've got $550,000 to spend, which is about £340,000. My first house offered loads of space, backed onto a reserve, and was $50,000 under budget. They decided it was nice.
It's got a nice sort of feel about it, isn't it? It's nice. Nice and big. It feels nice.
This time, I'm hoping I've found somewhere to really get excited about. And I'm tapping deeper into their love of the great outdoors. We're moving out to the leafy suburb of McGregor. The property sits at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac and takes full advantage of Canberra's cycle network. But check this, it also nestles on the beautiful Ginninderra Creek. There's a minor downside. The kids' schools are a couple of minutes further away. But I reckon that's a small price to pay for having Australia in your backyard.
I thought I'd sort of bring you round the back, as it were, as an approach to the house, so I think it's quite special.
Oh, it's wonderful,
Yeah, it's nice.
You've got nature on your doorstep.
Yeah. Here you got the cycle paths, barbecues. It's lovely.
Yeah, very nice.
Quite special.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on then.
Let's have a look.
So it's certainly a thumbs up for the natural surroundings. And the house has everything they've asked for. It's open plan, has 4 beds, a large living area, and there's also a separate area for the kids. Over here, these are called rumpus rooms, and true to the word, it's a place where the kids can make loads of noise without getting under anyone's feet. So what's not to like? Well, there's a twist. It's up for auction. And this is the reality of the market in Canberra, where around 2,000 properties go to auction every year. There's no guide price, but it's expected to go for upwards of $500,000. That's about £310,000. However, the owner's happy to consider a pre-auction offer, which would be good news for Rob and Catherine.
You like it?
I really like this.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got a nice feel. Flows nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just well aware here that we're getting a little bit further away from school.
Valid point, but then it's only 2 minutes more. Catherine needs to see what she's gaining for moving just a little further away.
Oh, wow.
No, this is good.
The 3 kids' bedrooms are this end of the house, so this is almost like...
Their end.
Their end, yeah.
Have a look in there.
It's lovely. It's a very homely house.
If homely's as good as it's going to get, this could be a very long search indeed. Time for some straight talking.
What's it going to take for you actually to step across the line?
Well, if the price is right, it's, you know, it's what you want out of a house and you both like it, you do it.
It's definitely much nicer than the last property, yeah.
I'm not looking for the word nice. And we've walked around and we've gone, oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
That could do.
Yeah.
We need to do better than that. I want to see some passion. I want to see some love before they part with their money.
So this will be our room. It's nice and, you know, good decorative order.
Well, it's still a bit lukewarm for my liking. Something's holding these two back.
So is it scoring points?
The house is beautiful, the area is beautiful, you know, but I'm wondering whether it's a little bit too far out on the map.
Catherine's zoned in to the school, and that's it.
Right.
Whereas I'm thinking, OK, let's find a house we like, and then we can look at all the other things.
OK. I'm sure you're aware of it, but that's two that's two opposing methods of going house hunting.
Yeah, yes, yeah. We've always been the same.
Which is quite tricky.
Yeah.
Now I've got the picture. They're both looking for entirely different things. But that school run's a total deal breaker for Catherine. Moving on, I'm taking them to the suburb of Flynn. Now, to shorten the school journey, I've had to sacrifice having nature on the doorstep and shift to a more suburban location. But I've made up for it with lots of space, and there's a fantastic view of the Brindabella Mountains out the back.
Righty-ho, next one. We're about 2 minutes closer to the school. 2 minutes is about a quarter of the journey. So. And a double garage.
With 4 beds and 2 baths, everyone's catered for. And a substantial 3 living spaces means memories of life in a camper trailer can get banished forever. And remember, it's got those spectacular views. But it could get complicated, as this one's going to auction as well. The estimated sale price is likely to be around $525,000 or £325,000. Lots of people have registered their interest, so if our couple like it, they may end up having to fight for it. And then who knows what it could end up going for.
Right, this I think is a bit special, this one. Again, it's open plan, loads of space, wood-burning stove, dining room, veranda, bit more living space. And just when you thought you'd finished the living space, you get another one. You could corner this off and say, kids, your bedroom's your living room. Yeah. And it still leaves you with tons of space.
Yes, yeah.
Location stands up because it's not far away from where we are at the moment, so that's good.
Yeah.
Progress at last. The location's bang on. I just have to hope the rest of the house is a winner.
How are you doing, Catherine?
I can't get away from this view. Look at it. It's just awesome. So I feel quite sort of fluttery. Do you know what I mean? It's just, look at that. That is just
fluttery is a good feeling. I like that expression.
Yeah. This excites me, this house. I just stand here and just think, oh.
Well, that's terrific. That's terrific. I was really hoping for a sense of excitement from you
definitely.
both.
I feel quite excited about this one.
Good.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Struth. Catherine's smitten by the views. It sounds like this could be the family home they've been looking for. That's if Rob likes it, of course.
It's not 100% perfect, but it's all stuff that can be made to work. You like this one, don't you?
I do like this one. It's a little bit scary because it sort of almost completes the whole move. If we buy, it's like, we've done it. I don't know, what do you think?
I thought we'd done that anyway.
This is a big moment for Catherine. She's sold on the place, but I'm just not so sure about Rob.
It's pretty nice, isn't it? And I'm not taking the mickey.
No pun intended.
It is nice. I could see us here and I say that's what's a little bit scary.
I guess the only worrying element is that it's going to go to auction.
Yes, you
And
do, yeah.
And who knows what it'll go for.
That's the
Yeah.
fear, is if you really set your heart on something, A, will you get it, and B, will you have to pay through the nose for it because it's
Yeah.
gone to an auction process.
Yeah, how many other people feel?
Yeah. But we haven't finished.
Nope.
Got another one to show you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just stir it up a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it gets better every time.
Yeah,
so-
definitely.
Okay, so...
Can't wait for the next one.
Cool. OK. Well, lots of good positivity today. Everything's been nice, but this last one, I think the volume's really been turned up. I think we're tuning in now. Catherine said that she felt fluttery, which in my book is a very good sign.
Coming up, can I make an even bigger splash with my next property?
That's, wow.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to work less and earn more, then Canberra could have the answer.
I do 3 days a week here, and I'm paid probably equivalent to what I was being paid working full-time in the UK.
I'm in Australia, helping Brits make the move of a lifetime to the Southern Hemisphere. Tonight it's the turn of the capital city, Canberra, where people enjoy the highest incomes and the lowest unemployment. Good news for your wallet, although it does make for expensive house prices. I'm helping Rob and Catherine Morris navigate this tricky market, and we're finally making some progress.
You like this one, don't you?
I do like this one.
But there's a sting in the tail coming up. 33% of Canberra's properties go to auction. Bids are high and the competition's fierce.
It's your last opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call it 3 times and then it's gone.
But this cloud does have a silver lining. Canberra is crying out for skilled migrants. So when it comes to applying for a visa, there are lots of opportunities here, particularly in the medical profession. Registered nurses are in high demand and are among the top 5 UK jobs to get Aussie visas. Glaswegian neonatal nurse Jackie Johnston moved here with her family 2.5 years ago. She works at Canberra Hospital and is a lifeline for premature babies and their parents.
What sort of conditions are you dealing with?
Any baby that has difficulty when it's been born just needs a bit of extra support with them. They've got premature lungs, so they need some extra help with their breathing, or need some extra help with feeding.
Baby Callum was 6.5 weeks premature and is under Jackie's tender care. I'm putting my midwifery skills to the test with a spot of nappy changing.
We heard you were very good at this.
Well, I've done a few. Mine too was a few years ago. Oh, these are all clean and dry.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how relieved I am about that.
So how would you say it compares your role with what you might have been doing in the UK?
I think what I've been very impressed with here is the amount of support that I got when I started.
What about training?
Training as well, I was very impressed with. There's courses that I've been trying to get on in the UK that I'd had to wait 18 months to get on, and I was doing them within a month of being here.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the good news is, if you've got nursing qualifications like Jackie, then they're easily transferable to Australia.
Tell me about sort of how the job and the wages and the time and that sort of thing compares with the UK.
I do 3 days a week here, and I'm paid probably equivalent to what I was being paid working full-time in the UK. So
that's quite something.
It's nice.
On a full-time wage in the UK, nurses earn an average of £29,000. While in Australia, it's £43,000 for the same amount of hours. And seeing as an estimated 71% of newly qualified nurses are unable to find work in the United Kingdom, Australian hospitals have been ramping up their recruitment drive.
Tell me about what you get up to. All this time off you've got now.
Yeah, well, I do a lot of walking with my dog, and there's some lovely reserves and bushwalks, and there's a lake. There's a lot of outdoor things to do.
All in all, would you recommend it?
I would. It's been a very positive move for us as a family. Yeah, and I would highly recommend it for anyone thinking about making the trip down under.
But if you're not a medical professional, don't worry. There's high demand for many careers in the capital. There's even a government-backed training scheme preparing British builders, plumbers and electricians for work in Canberra. Skills like these are in need thanks to the massive requirement for new housing in the capital. And there's an abundance of other work skills in demand right across Australia. So if you want to know how desirable your career is down under, log on to channel4.com/4homes. Rob and Catherine want a home that ticks all their space requirements and is near to their kids' schools. And that's something Catherine won't compromise on. So it's just as well I impressed her with property number 3.
This excites me, this house. I just stand here and just think, oh.
Well, that's terrific.
However, Rob wasn't quite so sure. I'm hoping my next property is going to blow him away. It's in Spence, good name, another suburb of Belconnen, northwest of the city centre. The school runs easy at around 10 minutes, and there's even more space at the property. But there isn't that view, and the surroundings aren't quite so pretty. Although there's a good reason why I brought them here, and it's going to put the cat amongst the kookaburras.
Your kids dreamt of a...
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Yes, a very nice pool too.
And doesn't it look really inviting today as well?
Yeah.
That's, wow.
Yeah.
There's also a child-friendly garden, 5 bedrooms, that's 1 extra for the Rellies, and the choice of 3 living areas. Now, I've gone over budget by $15,000. It's on an asking price of 565,000 Aussie dollars, that's 350,000 British pounds. But there's no auction, and it's got the pool their kids have always dreamed of.
Ballpark cost for putting a pool in is $40,000. If you put a pool in one of the other houses, you're going to be up at this price.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really worth showing you
Yeah.
what it would buy you. Quick chat about the area, but it's still 10 minutes to school.
Yeah, no, well, it's still in the right vicinity. You love it.
It's my drive to work every morning. It's just across the road there. And yeah, I do like this area.
And almost no mention of the word nice. We're really getting somewhere now.
So we've got a kitchen, which I think could do with a bit of livening up. First living area, and come this way. Second living area, and third one. Any emotional sense here, Bob?
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, the pool is great.
Have an explore.
More bedrooms, wow, is this all cupboards?
Loads of stuff.
So much storage. It's big, look at the size of that piece of furniture there, and there's still loads of room. Are they so bad they're good? I don't know.
Yeah. How far does kitsch stretch?
OK, so some of the features are a little dated, but do either of them get the fluttery feeling that Catherine got with the last place?
I love the pool.
Yeah.
But there was something, I don't know, I mean, there's something special about property number 3. Has this got it? What do you think?
I prefer this one.
Do you?
Yeah.
It looks as if the pool floats Rob's boat, but now Catherine's swimming in the opposite direction. Time to wade in.
How'd you get on?
I think you love it.
This is why, we've left Britain. For a place like this. I could pull up a chair and just sit here now.
And how does it compare with the third house yesterday?
I don't know, last night, what was it with that other one? I mean, I just felt quite excited in the other one. Whereas with this one, I see the space, I see that we fit, definitely. And I see an awesome pool, especially on a nice day like today.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what?
What's
I don't know.
holding you back?
I don't know.
Well, lots to think about.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
I hope I haven't muddled by bringing you here, but
No.
I think it's a great option if you're prepared to spend that kind of money because you wanted a pool.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to get interesting.
So while they battle it out overnight, here's my lowdown on the best areas to live and some of the most fantastic properties in Canberra. When it was chosen to become the capital, this city was built to a modern 20th century plan. And there's a varied workforce, so housing budgets differ. If, like Rob and Catherine, you want a family home, Dixon, to the north of the city, is one of the most affordable suburbs. But by British standards, it's pricey. 4 bedrooms and a garden costs about £350,000. If you're looking for stylish living, Kingston to the east is one of the trendiest areas thanks to a thriving cafe culture. Apartments are hot property, but with prices starting at £300,000, cool comes at a cost. Though you can go for bust with an ultra-modern house like this one. There's a whirlpool on the roof, solar power, and a high-tech natural ventilation system. It's the porcelain floors and illuminated glass steps that make it unique. And for about £3 million, a place like this could be yours. But the really big money's found in Red Hill to the south. If you're a politician or diplomat, then this is the area for you. It's upwardly mobile, but you need deep pockets with houses here going from £500,000 to well over £4.5 million. Expect to pay around £2 million for something like this. It's open plan, and although verging on the super minimalist, it's still a family home. What I love most is the training pool. It's been designed with the future in mind as well, with underfloor heating and grey water recycling, keeping those environmentally friendly Aussies happy. Yesterday I split the camp right down the middle. Now Catherine and Rob have a tough decision on their hands and need to choose between property 3 with the view or property 4 with the pool. Just as well they've brought their kids along to help with the final verdict.
And you brought judges and jury.
Judges and jury, yeah. See what they say.
The first one in the dock is Rob's favourite, the house in Spence.
I like this.
So this one...
My bedroom.
Your bedroom?
Yes. So this won't be mine then, would it?
Maybe.
Can I go and have a look at a swimming pool?
When we go outside.
No objections so far. Let's see if the pool seals the deal.
Well, here it is.
Can we see? Okay, we'll have a look this
Imagine
side.
yourself diving in there?
Yeah.
And dip your feet in? Yeah. What do you think?
It's good. I'd probably be here with my friends most of the time in the pool.
What do you think about the actual house?
I think it's nice. It's still small.
Hey?
I think.
They weren't kidding when they said judge and jury. That's Rebecca and her mum who are still unsure.
We started the day with you guys telling me that you wanted to go and see both properties. Yeah. So I've absolutely lined up the other property to go and see.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it still in the game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Happy, Rebecca?
Yep.
Okay.
Fine. Let's go.
Let's go.
Wagons roll.
So it's back to Flynn. Catherine is the one that loves this place, but will the house charm the rest of the family?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but although Catherine and Rob, you both like this house from me the first time,
Yeah.
I sense it's still Catherine's favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it is.
Now I'm back. Yeah, it seems better than I remember it again.
Yeah.
OK.
So, yeah.
It's going to get interesting.
Yes.
Come on, jury.
Let's go.
I wasn't expecting that. Rob certainly changed his tune. So now I need to present the case for this one to the toughest member of the jury, Rebecca.
Well, Rebecca, we've got plenty of living space here again.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
One of the things that we talked about
Yeah.
was this area being for you and your brothers.
Have a look. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah.
You prefer it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It just feels nicer.
It's the feeling that the feeling that a house gives you. It's a very difficult thing to put your finger on, and it's what every house hunter comes to me and says, I want the feeling.
I have that feeling.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Like her mum, Rebecca sees this as the family home they've all been searching for. But it's not a done deal yet. We've not had final judgment from Rob and the boys.
Any smiles?
Yeah.
Pete?
Is it all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It is better, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah. That's all right.
I much prefer it.
What do you think, Becca?
I like this one more.
Do you?
Yep.
How about you, Pete?
I reckon this one's better. Although it hasn't got the pool, it's just more like airy and...
Terrific. Well, that's fantastic news. I'm really pleased that you've all come together and made a joint decision.
Yeah, that's good.
Having come this far and actually found you the house everyone's happy with, we've got to get it.
Yeah.
Case closed. But hold on to your cork hats, this house is up for auction. Coming up, can I get it without blowing their budget?
This is going to be edge of the seat stuff.
It's going.
Welcome back to Australia, where I'm helping the Morris family put down new roots in the capital city of Canberra. It's been a tough search, but I've finally found them a house in the suburb of Flynn that everyone's fallen for.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased that you've all come together and made a joint decision.
Yeah, that's good.
But there's a twist. It's up for auction in a market that's booming because of a housing shortage. Prices here can rocket sky high, so I'm going to have a real fight on my hands to win it for Rob and Catherine. The property's expected to fetch between $500,000 and $525,000, which is hitting the £325,000 mark. Despite the emotions stirred up in everyone, Catherine and Rob are putting their practical hats on. They have a budget of $550,000, but are only prepared to pay a cautious $512,000, which is $38,000 under their max. They're also staying away from the auction in order not to be tempted to overbid. A wise move in this case, so I'm acting on their behalf on the phone.
I've got a figure from Rob and Catherine. Obviously, I'm going to be hoping to get it for quite a bit less than that, but I don't know how many other people are interested in this house.
I've been patched through to an auctioneer's agent who'll be making bids as per my instructions. I can tell you it's a far cry from the sedate auctioneering rooms in Blighty. Nice mascot.
Aren't you having fun? You're a great Swiss angel. Second call. Congratulations.
But don't be fooled by the cuddly bear. This is a brutal business. Up to 15 properties are sold at each auction, and plenty of keen bidders means owners and estate agents are making a killing.
Tactically, I'm hoping to slow the auction down and reduce the incremental increases and just try and attempt to control the pace of the auction. Whether I'll be able to pull that off or not, it's a different matter entirely.
And for Catherine and Rob, it's a waiting game.
I'm a bit nervous. I'm just sort of...
Feel a bit squiffy.
Do you? So what do you think they're going to say, Pete?
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully, yes.
No pressure there, then. The house in Flynn is the next lot, so fingers crossed I can get it for the Morrises. All goes quiet in anticipation. You can cut the atmosphere with a knife.
So, folks, if you want to bid, you do need to make some noise. Can I suggest something in the high 400s? 470, you tell me, folks, I can't do it without you.
With such a low starting price, we could be in with a chance here. And then the first bid flies in.
470, bidder number 36, welcome to the bidding. Looking to go 480 or better, ladies and gentlemen.
She's got 470.
Now things are underway. I'm keeping my fingers and toes crossed that there aren't too many more bids.
490, bidder number 74.
Just gone up by $20,000.
I'm going to call it in your favour, sir. First call at 490. Second call at 500 and 510.
All of a sudden, there's 3 bidders after the house. So any chance I had of slowing things down's right out the window. Time to jump in. Now or never.
512.
Okay, 512.
512,000, bidder number 44.
It's at this point I'm heading for bust, because I'm not able to bid any higher than 512. My sixth sense tells me that somebody else wants this place way more than Catherine and Rob, and they're willing to pay for it.
And 515, he says. We're at 515. Happy to come back to our phone bidder as well.
No, sorry, too strong for us. Yeah, afraid so. No, we're out.
And that's it. Within minutes, the bid hits a substantial $527,000.
It's going, and sold. Congratulations to you, sir.
Oh dear, we missed it. We missed it. That's life in the auction room. What I'm not looking forward to now is actually having to pass that news on.
The moment of truth. Hello, Phil. How are you?
Rob, hello. Yes, I'm okay, thank you. But I'm afraid I don't have exciting news.
Okay.
The hammer came down at 5:27. I'm really sorry. I just wish I had better news.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You've been brilliant. Really, thank you for all your help.
But I kind of can't help feeling if he really wanted that house, he might have paid a bit more than 512 for it. Because it's worth a bit more than 512. But that was the maximum, and sadly it wasn't enough.
That, of course, is the reality of the property market in Canberra. But remember, this is the couple who've bought and sold 6 properties back in Wales. Even though they'd fallen in love with the house in Flynn at the 11th hour, they decided to go with their heads, not their hearts.
I thought, well, yeah, when it goes to auction, I didn't want to get into kind of a boiler room pressure and overbid. I thought, well, if it was on the market at close to 500, I didn't want to go significantly over it.
Because are you paying for something that's not actually worth what it is? You're just
buying in the heat of the moment.
Buying for the competition of it.
Yeah.
I think obviously there's a little bit of you that knows how much you could have got it for now, and if only we'd have said that. But it wouldn't have stopped there.
Yeah, it wouldn't have stopped there. Nice house, but more money than I wanted to pay for it.
Something else is out there.
Yeah.
It always is. Things happen for a reason.
And I wish Catherine and Rob the very best of luck as they continue their search down under. Next week, I'm reuniting a family as Mum and Dad leave Blighty for the Central Coast to be close to their kids.
Can you imagine a family Christmas? Imagine the parties we could have out on the decking.
But when their kids clap eyes on it, they're far from impressed.
We just won't come and see you, so.
High Tension Gaming is back on 4 with the return of the £1 million drop live tonight at 10. Before that, the Embarrassing Bodies docs are back and on the beaches of the Costa del Sol looking for Brits abroad with unusual problems. That's next.